Welcome to Coffee to Go, where we center ourselves in the scriptures, seasons, and holy days of the Christian tradition. I'm Karen Peter, and I'm here with Blake Smith, and we welcome you on the journey. We are in ordinary time, or what's also known as the season after Pentecost. The Sundays in ordinary time are numbered or ordered, which is how ordinary time came to be. And it's a pretty long stretch of 25 weeks or so without any major festivals or holy days, that kind of a thing. And this period of time, ordinary time, the Sundays are numbered and called propers. So it's proper 9, proper 10, etc. And today we are on proper 11, or the 11th Sunday in ordinary time. And this whole proper thing comes from the word proprium, which refers to parts of the liturgy that were recited according to the date. It's an old and ancient tradition, and you can Google it and learn all about it on your own as we go through and observe this part of the liturgical year. So during this part of the year, we figure out what it means to be a disciple and to follow and live the ministry message of Jesus. And this week, we are with Jesus and have been invited to the home of some of his friends. And that's the home of Lazarus, Mary, and Martha.
All right. Well, our gospel message today comes from the 10th chapter of Luke, and it is the 38th through the 42nd chapter. Now, as they went on their way, he entered a certain village. A woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. She had a sister named Mary, who sat at Jesus' feet, listening to what he was saying. But Martha was distracted by her many tasks. So she came to him and asked, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her, then, to help me." But the Lord answered her, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and distracted by many things, but few things are needed. Indeed, only one. Mary has chosen the better part, which will not be taken away from her." So why does this matter? This is a very interesting passage, and it kind of picks up on the contrast between doing and being. So it comes right after we've heard the story of the lawyer asking Jesus, "What can I do? What can I do?" And he recites the commandments, which he says he's doing. And Jesus says, "Great, go leave all you have and come follow me." It really is about one thing. Now we're in this passage with Mary and Martha is a doer.
Mm-hmm.
And she's scurrying around. I could just see her scurrying around, getting everything ready, trying to be the perfect host. So very frustrated by Mary, who just settles in at Jesus's feet to listen. And Jesus doesn't reprimand the lawyer. He doesn't reprimand Martha. Really, I mean, he said, "Oh, Martha, Martha, you're doing your thing." But there is a balance. There is a balance. There needs to be a balance between being and doing. In discipleship, it takes both. So we've got Martha, who is a hands person, a doer, and we got Mary, who is a head and heart person, which means they can easily complement each other. But because of their differences, their relationship isn't healthy. It seems apparent that Martha is actually pretty resentful of Mary, and that causes her anxiety. And those are evidence, and we see it in ourselves, I think, when we come into this contrast. It comes from not valuing the gifts that each of us bring to the table, and even the way we worship and the way we experience God and all of that. It's almost as if we have to take sides, right or wrong, black or white, leader or follower, good or bad. But what if we reject the binary perspective and look for a non-binary solution?
Oh, that's interesting, Blake. What would that look like?
Well, I think we're really trying to discover that as the unity of Christ and realize that everything isn't just one way or another. There's this continuum, if you will. And certainly the folks on each end of the continuum can contrast one another, but they might also complement one another. and finding somewhere in the middle where there are those who are all along that continuum. That's part of that diversity in community, unity and diversity that we talk about,
Yeah.
and the richness that brings to our community. We often don't experience because we get stuck in the anxiety.
So one of the things that's always bothered me about this passage, Blake, is that it pits woman against woman. And
Mm.
and instead of valuing the different ways that women are and serve and lead and experience things together or individually. And I think the way that the scripture has been presented many times continues that pitting one against the other. Mary is good, Martha is bad. Mary's choosing the better, Martha is choosing the lesser path, rather than allowing for this approach of diverse perspectives complementing one another and finding ways to heal that relationship and value the giftedness of others. But in this case, in particular, it really is a harmful perspective when we look at it as trying to figure out who's the better woman, if you will, in this passage. So I'm glad that you're bringing up the non-binary approach to what does it look like to explore this passage together.
Yeah, and those of us, and I will say those of us being men, don't always see that perspective, I think. How harmful it can be, because if I'm sensing that one of the ways that you might be talking about, which has been a common held belief, is that Martha's actually doing what she's supposed to do, right? She's the woman.
Traditional woman's work. Yeah, yeah.
And to sit with Jesus is for the male disciples to do,
right,
and do that work. So that's really good for us to hear. I appreciate you bringing that perspective to that and lifting that up as one of the real good reasons why we need to think in non-binary terms with regards to this kind of thing. So some questions we might ask ourselves this week, given this, is what tasks or details am I focusing on that bring frustration and anxiety? And how is this keeping me from seeing beyond the horizon? Familiar words from 161, section 161 in the Doctrine and Covenants.
Yeah.
Are we getting caught up in frustration and anxiety and not being able to see sometimes what is right before us and sometimes something that is in the distance? Another question be, what aspects of the future and my interests in study or mystery keep me from attending to the basic tasks and details of hospitality and discipleship?
So we're going to look at it from Martha and Mary's perspectives here and see what's going on.
I think we need to do that.
Yeah.
The final question would be, do I consider some interests, ministries, better than others, or just better for me?
Yeah, that's an interesting take on that last part where Mary has chosen the better. And it's almost as if Jesus doesn't finish the sentence, because it's really what's better for her. What's better for her and where her heart is leading her is to listen and absorb and learn. What's better for Martha is to serve with their hands and feet and be doing. And they don't realize that sometimes the better is what's better for you in this period of your life and spiritual journey.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it. And as I think through this and so many other things that we as a church talk about, and we think about what's the best or what's the way we've always done it, or all of those types of questions. And it's important for us to recognize that what is best for me might not be best for someone else. And
yeah.
It's a journey, and we've been working on it, but we've got somewhere to go.
Well, I know in the life of the church, we call it work-life balance. For our experience this week, Blake, though, we're going to call it the be and the do jar. So here's a way to experience Mary and Martha's dilemma this week. So get a jar or a bowl or something and take 14 strips of paper, and on 7 of them, write something that is a way that you can experience being. So being might be spending 10 minutes in prayer before bed, or reading a chapter of the gospel, or listening to meditative music for 15 minutes, or walking in nature, or simply being present with a neighbor. Some way in which you're not accomplishing a task, but you're just being who and how you are created to be. And then on the other 7 pieces of paper, write things that need to be done. So this is your do list. So it could be sorting socks in the laundry, or cleaning out a junk drawer, or cleaning the screens on all your devices, or dusting a shelf, whatever it is. 7 things to do and 7 ways to be. Mix them up, throw them in the jar, and then each day, draw a slip of paper. Draw one in the morning, draw one at night. Doesn't matter how you want to do it. But see what kind of balance happens as you work through the being and the doing this week. So create a be and a do jar. And
I'll just admit that if I get a lot of bees before I get a do, I'm going to be really anxious. But that's okay. I'm going to be. I'm going to hope that I draw the do's first. So I know.
I need some Martha. I'm channeling. Yeah. I'm with you there. So our blessing for today is called For Making Room for All by Shannon K. Evans. And it comes out of a book called Prayers for My Daughter. I think that's the name of the text. I'm looking to see if I have it right in front of me, and I can't find it. But I believe it's Prayers for My Daughter. And this one goes like this. O trustworthy abundance, you are generosity itself. In you there is no lack. And yet much fear resides among women. Beautiful women, talented women, admired women are our competition, and so positions must be fought for. Spare my daughter this deception in the junior high classroom and in the boardroom. Spare her the twisted hope that other girls might have less so that she can have more. Spare her from a cutthroat culture that would pit woman against woman. May she be the one that lifts other women higher, never hoping that they fall. And may she believe they will go further together than they will alone. Amen.
I so love that. It's written, of course, from a woman's perspective, but as a father of 2 daughters who are now grown now, and I would like to say are out of that competition. They're really not. That continues on. And so I appreciate her including the boardroom and those types of locations as well. This is a prayer that I would pray for my daughters every day. I really like it. So thanks for that, Karen. And thank you to you, our listeners here at Coffee to Go. We thank you for joining us this week, and we invite you to join us next time for the next part of our journey through the liturgical seasons and holy days of the Christian tradition.